What's up, guys? Chase here with my homie,
Hey guys, it's Jesse.
and we're in the Barber Mafia Powerhouse right now. Another episode of the Powercast. What are we covering today, bro?
So today we're covering pretty much just basic nutrition.
The importance of it.
Yeah, just what it's gonna do to you in the gym. Biggest things we're gonna cover is just, are you eating enough?
Probably not.
Yeah, more than likely not. And then, are you drinking enough water?
Probably not.
Hell no. Hell no. You probably not. But we're gonna pretty much just start with basic nutrition. Most times, especially when you're starting off, all you do, like, you come in here and you work out hard, you're doing really good, but you're probably like dying in between sets. Afterwards, you're super sore for like multiple days, and you're over here struggling in the weight room, right? More than likely, that's gonna be due because you're not eating enough.
Like not recovering.
You're not, yeah. Basic thing is for us, what I would say is, are you getting enough protein? So if you get enough protein, usually what we try to do is about a gram per body weight. That's just pretty much standard. If you're cutting or if you're bulking, that's a little bit different, but that's something for another day. Just basically, are you getting a gram? So if you weigh 160, get 160 grams. If you weigh more, you're gonna get more. You'll realize if you're eating the protein correctly, yeah, that's a lot of food that you gotta eat. So you're usually gonna be eating around every what, 3, maybe 2
Man,
to
I eat like every 3 to 4 hours.
yeah,
And I
same.
but I make it easy myself because I incorporate shakes.
Yeah,
And I do double scoops of protein, and that, instead of 24, 25 grams of protein, it turns into 50. Plus the little bit of milk, 1 cup of milk, that adds 8 to 10 grams of protein. Plus I add peanut butter, that's another 6 to 8 grams of protein. So it turns out to be 60 to 70 grams of protein. If you do that twice a day, you're already at 140, 150
yeah.
grams of protein. That's without eating. A shake in the morning, a shake in the evening before bed. I like to make them to where they kind of taste like an ice cream shake, so it gets rid of that sweet tooth, and it's easy to drink, and it helps me sleep because I don't know about you guys, but like ice cream and milk, things like that, consume it before bed. It almost just, it's like a comfort food. It just helps you sleep better. And what's he saying about the gram per body weight? If you're not sure, do a gram and a half, so you
Yeah.
know for sure that you're at least getting enough. And a lot of the times people don't stick with their nutrition plan or their protein goal because they make it too complicated.
Straight
They
up.
start off trying to count protein, carbs, fats, salt, all that. Start simple and just track one thing at a time. Start
Yeah.
with your protein. If your goal is to gain weight, to get stronger, just start with your protein until you're used to it, and then incorporate the carbs until you're used to carbs and protein, and then incorporate the fats, etc., etc. Don't try and start measuring everything at once because it's going to be very overwhelming. You're just not going to be able to do it unless you're just very disciplined, and most people aren't disciplined.
Yeah.
So set yourself a goal. Let's say you want to gain 20 pounds or whatever. 2 shakes a day, 3 meals a day, 4 to 8 ounces of meat, somewhere in between there, depending on what meat it is. I'll usually go 5 to 6 ounces. I get full really fast. So 5 to 6 ounces of meat. And the days that I don't lift, I lower the carbs. I go high carb on days that I work out. I work out 4 days a week. So those 4 days that I lift, I up the carbs, extra 100 grams or whatever. So just don't make it complicated on yourself, right? I mean,
Yeah, biggest thing is like, for me, like, I like the way I work is like I break it down. So like I usually do about 4 meals, sometimes 5, depending on, like how much I gotta eat that day. But usually if I have to get, because I weigh around like 220, 230. If I have to,
260.
or 260. If I have to, usually I'll put like what, 55. I have to break it down like in 4 meals. So that's about like 50 to 55 grams of protein. And then get that, don't, biggest thing I see, sometimes everybody eats the exact same bullshit every time. Mix it up every so often, dude. It really helps. It really helps. That way you don't get tired of the exact same thing. Uh, and it kind of helps it from it staying stagnant. And big, like Chase said, the biggest thing is just consistency when it comes to it. A lot of people will do really good for about what, 3 weeks, a month at most, and then they'll just go back to eating whatever they're doing. If you can stick to it for at least a couple months, that's where it's gonna make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And you may not, you may at first feel a little bit like too full, a little bit bloated, but that's normal. Slowly, as your body starts getting used to it, you'll start getting hungry every 2 to 3 hours. That's gonna be normal.
And
Yeah.
don't let yourself, don't get it twisted. Like like if you're new to meal prepping and you're new to tracking your nutrition, you're probably going to end up consuming more food than you've ever consumed before because you're staying consistent, you're eating more often, and you're probably eating in a little bit bigger proportions than what you think you are. If you don't use a scale and you don't weigh your food, especially your protein in the beginning, and you just try and eyeball it,
It's not gonna work.
you're 100% going to be wrong because you don't have any idea what 5, 6 ounces of meat look like because you never weighed it. You just assume, and that's probably where you're going to lack and not get enough protein. Then you're not going to recover. You're going to be sore, like you said, 24/7, and then you're going to think you're doing something wrong in the gym, when in reality you're doing something wrong in the kitchen and you're not getting enough protein, enough nutrition. It's very simple. Food scale is $20 at Walmart. You don't have to have a fancy food scale. A little
No.
digital scale. Put an empty bowl on the scale. You can weigh your food before or after you cook it, depending on what it is. I like to do the ground beef after I cook it.
Yeah, same.
Um, and that's just because depending on what ground beef you're cooking or what meat you're cooking, it shrinks when you cook it. So if you weigh 5 ounces of ground beef and then you cook it, you're probably going to get 3 ounces or a little bit less. It shrinks a lot. So make sure that you weigh your food after you cook it, so you know exactly what you're fixing to consume. Um, and when it comes to carbs, I keep it simple. Like I'll do like ground beef, 6 ounces of ground beef, and I'll mix it with like a package of ramen noodles. That's pasta. And we're powerlifting. We're lifting for strength. So
Yeah.
we're not. I'm not really trying to cut weight. I'm not really worried about it. So I'm not really super stressed about super healthy carbs. It's more like I'm like complex carbs and etc. I'm just trying to get just carbs, especially on the days that I'm lifting. I'm just trying to get carbs in. So just make sure you're weighing your protein. Make sure you're tracking your protein, and just be patient, just like you would be in the gym. If you're a new lifter, you're trying to figure things out. Same thing goes with nutrition. You're trying to figure things out. So be patient and realize that you're going to probably feel a lot fuller than what you have in the past because you're not used to consuming 3 or 4 meals plus shakes. But if you're working out to be strong and to progress, um, body weight, weight in the gym, whatever you're trying to do, you got to put that nutrition in your body, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna make the biggest difference of whether you're actually gonna start putting on mass, you're actually gonna recover. And then another thing, another huge thing is you gotta drink water. You gotta hydrate yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of people come in here and they're like, "Man, I'm cramping. Man, I'm really tired. I'm really like I can, I feel so like I feel so dehydrated." And I'm like, "Well, how much water are you drinking?" They're like, "Maybe a cup or two." You can't. You're literally made of water. Your muscles, your all your muscle belly is like when it's full, it's pretty much just straight up water,
Mm-hmm.
right? The more water you can intake, the better you're gonna feel in the gym. If you're not drinking at least half a gallon of water,
Man,
and that is for like a small
I
individual.
think I think
At least
the
for us,
average
it's like a
person
gallon.
more.
Yeah,
I think the average person, especially if you're active, and even when it's cold, you're still sweating out that water. And I know it's harder to drink water when it's cold because you're not hot, you're not sweating like crazy, but you're still exhausting those resources. At least a gallon a day for the average person. If you're lifting heavy and you're lifting heavy like often, and you're exerting your body often,
you need more.
we get a gallon and a half to 2 gallons a day.
And
Um,
you also gotta like waters and like with that you
you'll
want
notice a difference too.
yeah
You'll notice a
you
difference.
want to drink water, but at the same time, just drinking straight up water is also not going to be as good. Do some type of electrolytes. Usually, I'll drink like elements when it's really hot, just because like we're sweating a lot,
Yeah.
and you need something so you can retain that water. If not, like something that really helped me to kind of stop cramping because I would cramp a lot would be like a teaspoon of salt before you work out. So like a teaspoon of salt, about a cup or two of water, and that's including your gallon of water every day. And that's going to help you retain some of that water in pretty much in your system. At first, it's not going to feel that great if you are looking to like be cut up, but that's up to you. I
It'll
mean,
even out though.
yeah, it'll
It'll
even
even out.
out because once you kind of sweat all that off, you'll be okay to go.
And you just got to give your body time to get used to it. I mean, consuming salt, especially like before we work out, a lot of the times to stop us from cramping, we'll take like a dime size serving of salt in our palm, iodized salt, and we'll chase it with water. Well, that adds electrolytes to your body. You
Yeah.
need that to retain. And you know, if you're taking creatine, that'll make you hold water, but eventually your body will get used to it and it'll even itself out. And then you'll
Yeah.
have to start consuming slowly more and more to stay, where you need to be. So don't let that don't get that twisted. Like that's all part of the nutrition. But just don't make it complicated. Protein first, get that under control, get the carbs under control. If you're worried about fats, which fats are important, get the fats under control and then worry about the sodium. Everything plays. Everything has a purpose for the gym, for what you do in the gym. You can't just come in and expect to lift heavy 24/7 and then eat bullshit and then recover and continue because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to work that way. So
No, yeah, that I would pretty much 100% agree with you. I mean, everything. A lot of people like they'll come in here and they'll work out really hard, but they forget how important like what you eat is.
or they'll
Uh,
ask us questions like,
yeah,
"Man, I benched heavy 3 days ago and I feel like shit today. Like, what do you think's going on?" And we'll say, "Oh, well, what have you had to eat today?" And they'll be
yeah,
like, "Oh, I had a banana and some almonds
that's
before." I'm
yeah,
just like, well, where's the protein? Like, what are you eating consistently? Or you'll ask somebody like, how many calories do you consume a day? And they'll be like, oh, I think I'm getting about 2,200. Well, if you think you're getting, you're not.
yeah. You're probably getting like
What?
1,800 at most. Like,
And I guarantee
yeah,
your protein is way low, way low.
100%.
And that can also affect your testosterone levels too. The food you eat, how often you eat, all that plays. I mean, it's very important to stay on top of that shit. 100%.
Once you actually like stick to it, you'll realize, hey, like, oh wow, like when you don't, because I mean nobody's perfect. You'll realize on the days that you don't eat as good, and I know for me and you,
We even realize
yeah,
that. We
like
even notice
we'll
too.
be like, man, like I feel it. Like you'll feel the energy not be there, and once you understand that, you'll realize how important like what you eat outside of the gym does to what you do inside of here. And if you're trying to optimize it and you're trying to get to your goal as quick as possible, then your nutrition is literally gonna play the biggest factor, honestly. Nutrition and recovery. I mean,
Yeah. So with that being said, man, just start easy. Don't be hard on yourself. Get the protein under control, and then move on.
straight up.
Keep the calories up. Man, this is really a simple game. Don't make it more complicated than what it already is. Get the protein under control. If you're trying to lose weight, put yourself in a small calorie deficit. If you're trying to gain weight, up your calories, up your protein, and just stay consistent. Consistent dedication, hard work. That's the bottom line with anything you're trying to do in the gym. Power lift, CrossFit, body build, whatever you're trying to do. Consistency is key. Dedication is key. And figuring out what works for you and sticking to it. Period. Period.
Straight up.
That's all I got, bro.
Yeah.
You good?
Same here.
All right, guys. This is Chase with my homie.
Jesse, guys. I mean, that's
Jesse,
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Barber Mafia Powercast. Let's go.
See ya, guys.